This channel is for immature audiences only. It is not for children, only for childish adults. We might play some video games that kids also like, but we say words like fuck and shit with alarming frequency and make crude, inappropriate, and morbid jokes all the damn time. Level 0 NPCs assumes no responsibility if your idiot spawn watches this and gets traumatized.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, everybody. We're back.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Conquests of Camelot. This is our first Conquests of Camelot mailbag episode in which we will be answering your Conquestions of Camelot from our viewers in both the YouTube comments and in our official Level 0 NPCs Discord server.
Yeah.
Which is down in the comments. So there's always a link to it. So go find it. Go join us.
Yeah.
Come meet us.
Come on, meet us.
We all had just had a depressing conversation about AI, and so the energy is low.
Tried to bring it back, but I failed. So
no, you did it great. I was purposely fighting against it.
Matt was being a human anchor.
Yeah, I was doing my best to try to bring the energy down, but I'm back now.
Gotcha.
I'm back. I'm feeling better. You guys want to start with the fucking Speakeasy Password?
Yes. Good.
Matt, the parachute behind our race car.
Let's do it.
Okay. Why is this not? Oh, I know why. There we go. Or I don't. There it is. Speakeasy Password. One thing I didn't factor in when I was setting up the hotkeys for this is that I need numlock on or off in order to control the character with the 10 key, but I need numlock off to do my Speakeasy Password and other. Oh shit.
Oh.
Whoa.
That's fine. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave that image up since
sure.
it's static anyway.
Yeah. Smart.
Why not?
I'll just edit it on.
We're saved. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's fine.
I would have liked something to look at.
I hit escape too many times.
While we do this, but I could just look at something else, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. Here we go, guys. Speakeasy Password.
Yep.
Speakeasy Password. I knew you were going to do it again.
For that, or?
Yeah.
When there was a lull, I was like, shit, I got to do it again. So.
A wise man never knows all. Only fools know everything.
Huh?
A wise man never knows all. Only fools know everything.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah. That's it's like a paraphrase of only truly intelligent people know how little they know or something like that.
Absolutely.
I'm really worried, guys, because these are getting better.
They listen to this. They hear our criticism.
They must be listening to this.
It felt a little wordy for what it was saying, but I can get behind that.
Poor low quality password for sure. That's a fucking mouthful.
Yeah.
In terms of an expression.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. It's just
Shit password, palatable message. Certainty is heretical to every belief.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going through some of the old ones, and they were way worse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like the mustard one or whatever?
The mustard. Don't let yesterday's shadows steal today's sunshine.
I don't think I've heard that one.
What?
Did we do that one?
No.
That was back in November.
Oh.
If there is no wind,
we were on a hiatus at that point.
October, November. Yeah. If you can't change your mind, how can you change anything else?
I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many. I think we got them all though.
Possibly. It's interesting that their choice of Speakeasy Password theme has always been kind of inspirational quotes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as opposed to like the Speakeasy Password and fucking Laura Bowe's world was Charleston.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, the password's never Magnolia.
Yeah. Give me a word that I could potentially like slip into conversation or like work into a sentence, but isn't like, you know. It's like it's hard to be surreptitious with a long ass inspirational quote. You know?
Even if there was
like a secret. It doesn't feel like a password, you know?
Even if there was like a call and response kind of like passphrase. The only example that springs to mind was from Fallout 4, the "Do you have a Geiger counter? Mine is in the shop."
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know, there's like, mind you, that might be hard to work in because that would require their staff to work that prompt into their talking to people, and then only the customers who had the right response phrase could get in.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of us, guys.
This has been
Proud of us too.
the Speakeasy Password.
Yes, it has.
Speakeasy Password.
Luke?
I did it. Did you not hear it?
I did. No, I said thanks, Luke.
Oh yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
So, I got a Hundo-P Watch.
Ooh. Oh, that's gonna be hard to edit over. Okay, I'm gonna have to fucking relaunch the game here.
Okay, let's take two. Okay.
Yeah, hold on, just a second. I'm just gonna go to my history
goodness.
here. Run.
Oh my goodness.
This is so stupid, especially because the Hundo-P Watch happened tonight.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
There.
All right.
Yeah.
Take two.
Take two.
There you go.
Hundo-P Watch happened earlier tonight. When Luke named a save game, thanks to Alex's suggestion, Hundo-P.
Hunto. Yeah.
Beautiful. We never...
Absolutely.
Guys, listen, and I can't stress this enough. I know Alex likes to live as an observer in this, but I believe we need to bring Hundo-P back, and we need to start using it so much that... Yes, exactly. That people we know and love and hate and are acquainted with start using it all the time, every day. That's our job. That's our job, to bring that change to the world. Can you do that for all of us? Can you do that for me? Can you do that for yourself?
You want the people that you hate to start using it too.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah. Anyway.
You want it to be such a piece of common parlance that it's just...
I got a little freaked out when Billy Mitchell used it, and ever since then I've taken a step away. So big thanks to Landor for that one. But
we were so touched. Please never do anything like that again.
I loved that you did it as much as I hated that you did it. I still do.
I love that you did it. Never do it again.
I love it so much.
I try to be impartial, you know. I have an Uatu stance towards Hundo-P Watch, but I felt like I had to point out that Hunto could have been Hundo-P, or I would be a bad friend.
Yep. No, I appreciate that. I think that was an excellent point that should have been made, and I should have caught it before I finished. Yes. This has been a Hundo-P Watch.
Yeah. Guys, I'm at if you go on our Discord and go to Hundo-P Watch, there is a pinned message in the Hundo-P Watch of, you could just watch Billy Mitchell If you don't know who Billy Mitchell is, I don't.
Did we pin that?
It's pinned, and rightly
God.
so. Rightly so. You can watch it.
You will take psychic damage watching it.
It's hard. It's hard to get through.
I'm gonna see if it's still up. Yeah, it's still going. Billy Mitchell does a cameo. He starts it off like, Matt, Billy Mitchell. So good. So good.
For new viewers, Hundo-P Watch is observing the occurrences of the expression Hundo-P, meaning 100%, in the wild, and just, noticing instances of its being used, and then it gradually mutated into sort of a more evangelical approach of trying to get people to use it, which I think is, I think that's an apostate faction of the Hundo-P Watch.
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm proud of that. I think that makes me feel good. That makes me feel good.
There was a schism. There was a schism in the Hundo-P Watch.
All right. As all.
This has been Hundo-P Watch.
Yeah. As always, we're going to start with everybody who comments on the actual videos first, and then we'll move to the Discord.
Yep.
Just to try to get more comments on our videos.
Our first con. We don't have a specific jingle for Conquestions for Camelot just yet, so.
I'm never sad to hear the Questions for Glory jingle.
That
is
one of my favorite pieces of music ever.
Legitimately. It's really,
Legitimately.
really good.
Yeah, like the Questions for Glory. It just
I want
speaks
like
to my
a
soul.
We should say these things out loud because 12 Op can't be trusted, but I want like a 2-minute version of that song.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh.
I would change the level 0 NPCs like opening video to that. Like not the per episode opening, but like our intro video to that. If there was a Questions for Glory full on music video,
just like it's so Stan Bush. It's so everything that lives in me from the 80s. Yeah. I fucking love every second of it. So good. Shout out to 12 Op.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Creator of most of the music that you hear while listening to level 0 NPCs. That is not like, part of the game music itself. With the exception of like our intro, which was some music that we licensed when we started the channel. So.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's go to episode 1. Cucked so hard, all the crops died. Is there any questions in this? There is, I believe, one.
Excellent. Let's hear it.
From Jojo Erdi, if that is how you say your name. And it's probably not, but I refuse to learn it. And that's because
I believe we asked for clarification, and the answer was yes or something like that.
Exactly. We love you. We love you, buddy. Question for Camelot. How often do you have to Merle in order to earn the nickname? Was it one embarrassing incident, or is the old guy Merlin all the time? This is a simple.
I looked it up, and it actually is a verb. It can be a verb.
What is it to whirl?
Oh wait! Hold on. Wait, it's not a verb. It's a noun. Wait. I just told a lie.
It's a bird of prey. Little adorable little hawk thing. We get them in Point Pleasant. I have to be careful not to. I have to be careful when I'm feeding the chickadees that I don't accidentally feed the merlins.
But what about a merle?
Yeah, what does it mean to merle?
But what is the
merle? Is a coloration in dogs.
Yeah.
That is usually associated with very serious medical issues, and so people are discouraged from trying to breed the merle coloration into dogs because it is always, almost always, results in terrible genetic abnormalities.
Okay.
Apparently, the merle is also the common black European thrush.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Or
Nice.
the European blackbird, yeah.
Nice. Nice and nice. So yes.
I wonder if there is a
Is there
Urban Dictionary entry for merle.
Oh.
that's good. Yeah.
Because I mean, I feel like that's in the spirit of the
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
I'm looking
Merle,
I'm looking it up. Merle Urban Dictionary.
half man, half girl, can drink as much as a college boy, but still has female sex appeal. Most
Oh.
notorious merle, rumored to be named Noor, attends the University of Colorado at Boulder and can be spotted at the bars on a daily basis on the prowl. Though there is no actual documentation of this merle, many have claimed to have spotted her on several occasions. Use caution in the presence of a merle.
That's okay. Well, I looked up Merlin for Urban Dictionary, and
Mhm.
the top result I got was a cutie that you better not lose if you get her. She's a sweetheart and everyone loves her. She makes everyone happy. She's really quiet, shy and quiet but smart. She's real attractive but hates how she looks. She's really creative and loves music. She's a girl that you would never want to lose. If you fall in love with a Merlin, don't let her go. She's the best thing to happen to you. That was apparently submitted.
Is that like a
I don't know.
like a marlin, but
Merlin? No, it's
Is it a
spelled
female,
Merlin.
a woman?
It's spelled
Yeah,
Merlin, like
okay.
the way. But it was submitted, like 2017, March 14th, 2017. And it's got 238 upvotes and 47 downvotes. But
all right.
that's what I got. It's a cutie girly girl who's shy.
The mythological character Merlin is sort of a mash-up of Merlin and Ambrosius, who are themselves sort of partially historical, partially mythological. I think Merlin comes from Merlinus. And I think it's just a made-up mashup of Merlin and Ambrosius.
That seems
Yeah.
likely.
You're right
But
though.
if one is to merle,
Merle is the half man, half girl. Can drink as much as a college boy.
so to merle would
female,
be
yeah.
to be a woman that drinks like a man.
That has 111 upvotes.
That is probably a bit of an insensitive term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Seems to be.
it's we're on the Urban Dictionary. I would be shocked if it was a sensitive term.
Yes.
But yeah, as for your question,
I'm guessing that's probably not the term that intersex people prefer.
no, fuck that term. Fuck the Urban Dictionary.
Yes, it is a contemptible website for certain.
Letting people come up with definitions for words on their own, horrible. What a horrible idea.
Well, the description that I read here was not that it is like actually half man, half girl, but that it is particularly a woman that drinks like a college boy.
Yes.
Yeah, like a tomboy kind of person.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
It specifically has to do with drinking.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't think that's.
I choose to believe that is the
Mhm.
the definition. So
I may have misheard part of the definition that you read.
And but also
seems to be used in a positive light.
yeah, but also it's Urban Dictionary, so you never know.
It's still a despicable website in general.
I mean, I just went there. I go there all the time, but it's
All
horrible.
the time.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. But yeah, the old guy. But as for like what Merle meant back in the day, we'll never know. Just like we don't know how to press F6 back then.
I feel like we are taking this far more seriously than it warrants.
Luke.
Well, why do you think he's called that?
Yeah.
We ask people for their questions, their con questions even for Camelot, and honestly, we have to treat everyone with the same amount of seriousness. Or what are we doing?
Well, I mean, in this particular case, my expectation is that Merle is therefore like a heavy drinker,
I think,
but that is also effeminate.
I think it's just really important to take this simple punny question and
so
run
he's
it into
always
the
Merlin.
ground.
Yeah, absolutely dismantle it.
Yeah.
Actually, I wonder where the Merlin, the bird of prey, gets its name. Might just be from the mythological wizard.
Oh,
Seems
probably.
possible.
Does it have a little beard? Does it have a little beard?
Really? It just kind of looks like a little hawk.
Yeah, with a little beard. There's a little-
Wikipedia lists Merlin as a legendary British wizard, and for some reason, I just love that definition of him.
That he is a legendary British wizard.
in LBW.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's enough for this question. I'm done.
The bird,
Next.
the bird
Bye,
Merlin
everybody.
gets its name from Esmeralon in Old French,
Ooh.
which might come from pigeon hawk, I guess. But I guess it is not the name of the wizard. They just happen to have the same name by different roots.
Oh, that's so gross. I hate that. All right. Next question for Camelot.
We're just gonna sub in the Questions for Glory thing every time.
It says, sorry, can I just dial that back for a second?
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm so sorry. Okay, so Alex, you're totally right. It says in the Wikipedia article for Merlin the bird, although the Merlin's name looks and sounds like the name of the wizard Merlin, prominent in Arthurian legend, the bird is not named after the wizard. The wizard's name is an English cognate of the Welsh name Merlin and is unrelated to the name of the bird. So what does Merlin mean?
Merlin is another mythological wizard. He might be the historical one. I believe Merlin is a composite of a mythological figure and a quasi-historical mythological figure and a slightly more historical figure.
He is a figure in medieval Welsh legend Merlin Willet. He's accounted as a chief bard, speaker of several poems, etc. So Merlin is named after a different wizard?
Yeah. The Merlin in
composite of other mythological wizards.
I'm disappointed.
He's a mashup of several figures into one character.
It says here, prophet and madman. He's a prophet and madman, an inspiration of Merlin. Okay, fine.
Much like many mythological characters, they're all just stealing from one another.
This is a letdown. You know what, Matt? Yeah, you ended that with you're disappointed, and I'm also disappointed.
I guess Ambrosius, the other component of Merlin, may have also been historical, but they're both old enough history that they are sort of quasi-mythological in themselves.
I refuse to get involved in this anymore. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. All right. I'm moving on to Conquestions for Camelot
Yes,
by
I'm so
Idris.
sorry. That was
No,
a
it's
waste of time,
okay.
and I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Here's the fact. Here's the truth. I'm not in charge. I'm not. I have no power here. I have no power here. I'm just.
You're one of only 2 founding PCs, though.
Yeah, you know. Luke could just edit. So I say that I'm stupid. Yeah. Anyway, Idris, Conquestions for Camelot. If the Conquest of ... series were to continue, what would be the 3rd game? This is a very interesting question.
Such a good question.
Longbow is Robin Hood?
Yes.
Longbow's Robin Hood.
Longbow's Robin Hood. I think it would be Conquest of the Cross. I think it would be a Jesus.
Jesus game?
Oh man!
Color. Really?
I love the idea of playing as Jesus and going around and using your Jesus powers and a bunch of like highly apocryphal Jesus deaths.
Listen. I think it would be sacrilegious as hell, but I think it would be a fun ass game. I do. I think you'd. I think it would be especially fun if you had to take time out of your busy day to send a vision of the Grail to the future to Arthur, like in Conquests of Camelot, because that's what Jesus literally sent you that. I think that'd be fun.
It's true.
It'd be fun.
But Conquests of Camelot has to do with like Arthurian legend, and then Robin Hood is the second one, and it's like I think isn't Robin Hood supposed to be after Camelot stuff?
Yeah.
So that means that the third one would probably have to come after Robin Hood stuff.
Okay.
I don't know if it necessarily has to have a chronology to it, although
There's a logic to your statement, though, that it would be a later myth.
I agree. It maybe.
Matt was just trying to think of another popular storybook character.
Oh, sure.
no. And I mean, like, at the end of the day, the Conquest series to me is like explorations of mythological heroes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or at least heroes that have a certain amount of myth around them, because I think like Robin Hood or the Robin Hood was based off of a real person. So,
yeah, so that's the only problem with this, right? Like I think they were like, we could do Arthur, we could do Robin Hood, and then they're like,
and it does feel like English mythology. The next one that I could think of that you could potentially do a thing about would be like Dick Turpin.
But like, what,
I think there's all sorts of cool like Celtic mythology that you could probably draw from, but I am not well versed in the subject and couldn't name a particular hero.
I mean, there are lots of like mythological heroes that you could draw from the rest of the world.
yeah,
For sure.
I was trying to think of something from like that neck of the woods, where Arthur and Robin Hood are purported to have been dicking around.
Dick Turpin next, because there's only so many like. I mean, I guess you could also potentially do like who's the Guy Fawkes or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Although I guess he's kind of hated, or at least they play at hating him.
It's hard to find another good beat in the sequence of King Arthur and Robin Hood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll come to me later. I'm
Joan of Arc?
Potentially. Isn't she predominantly
French? Yeah.
I just meant kind of
Europe.
There are like elements of her story that are probably not true.
So perfect.
That involve different sorts of like religious magic, but I think she's a shade more historical than either King Arthur or Robin Hood.
Joan of Arc would have been actually would fit in quite well.
It's a great,
actually,
great suggestion.
Yeah. I think for like British theme, you could go for Sherlock Holmes, but again, not a real guy.
Well, also
not based on
like,
a real guy.
More of a mystery thing and less of a yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. I feel like if you're going to do Sherlock Holmes, it would be a very different style of game to the Conquest series.
I mean, yeah, but did all those Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock movies that were just a little more action packed, you could do that. You could do that.
Sherlock Holmes is almost there, in that he is a sort of like classic fictional character that occasionally people mistake for being historical.
Yes. Yes.
He's a shade too recent, but he's almost right. It's almost there.
Yeah, what would the game be called if it was a Sherlock or a Joan of Arc one?
I would love
Conquest of Baker Street.
Conquest of Baker Street.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got lots of like Greek mythology that you can draw from.
That might be a better way to go. Actually, is to just
Achilles or even Hercules. Jason with the Argonauts.
Did you almost call him Hercules?
Hercules.
Oh, well, no, I always called him Heracles.
Oh.
But I changed to Hercules.
I lied. I would have been fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Odysseus, you could do the Odyssey. Like, actually, that would be a fun adventure game.
That would be
honestly.
a fun adventure game. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You could have kept it going for some, and like the Celtic stuff. You could have put like Boudica, whatever, or however you pronounce that. I think it'd been fucking awesome, man.
Mhm.
There's so much cool stuff they could have done.
If you wanted like imps and magic swords and fairies and shit, then there's kind of lots of European mythology that you could draw from.
Yeah.
Which probably in a place or two crosses paths with the tale of King Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably, again, apocryphally, but those stories all get weaved together. Like Merlin is a composite of other people, other characters, other figures.
I mean, you could even do like, Beowulf and fucking Gilgamesh and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. That'd be cool.
Now, I'm still on the Joan of Arc Wikipedia page, and it says she was born in 1412. Anyone want to guess? Because she was canonized. Anyone want to guess when she was canonized?
Oh, God, I don't even know.
So, born in 1412. And Joan of Arc was canonized in 1920.
What?
Oh, wow.
So, just to, to indulge me, because I'm actually not great with these kinds of terminology. Canonized means like basically sainted, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Recognized as a saint.
Recognized by the church.
Yeah.
As a saint. Okay.
And she's the patron saint of France, and I guess that only happened in 1920.
That's wild.
Yeah.
The thing that I think puts Joan of Arc on the far side of a line that Sherlock Holmes is too far on the other side of is that we are pretty sure she existed in a way that we are not really sure that either Robin Hood or King Arthur existed.
This is true.
There's like debate about them both, but there's not a lot more evidence for either of them than there is for Sherlock Holmes.
This is true.
Whereas Joan of Arc is an historical figure about whom there is mythological information
There's like
about
a signature
divine
here.
intervention and
we
stuff.
have her signature in the Wikipedia page, so yeah, I mean, definitely real.
Wow.
Yeah.
We would at this point be quite surprised to learn that Joan of Arc wasn't real. That would be a bit of a turn in
Are there real human, I guess, so there's that whole bit there, but I guess aside from like the legacy of Joan of Arc and sort of like the major themes, I can't really think of like a story or like an epic of like Joan of Arc that you would use as the plot to these things. Because like, historically Robin Hood, helping to free King Richard from, from and also sort of, fighting against Prince John and the Sheriff of Nottingham when King Richard was being held hostage. And then, the various Arthurian legends, including, the search for the Grail.
The first paragraph of the Joan of Arc Wikipedia page says, honored as a defender of the French nation in her role in the Siege of Orleans and her insistence on the coronation of Charles VII of France during the 100 Years' War, claiming to be acting under divine guidance, she became a military leader who transcended gender roles and gained recognition as the savior of France. So in the same way that Robin Hood was supposedly...
So that would be great.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
so basically, this is the Siege of
Orleans, what was
like, that would be a great,
what was her
setting.
miracle?
Oh, I don't know. Let's see.
You need to have one.
Was she beheaded?
I believe you're meant to have had a miracle.
Enough?
Yeah.
No, it's not enough. That's not enough.
No?
anyone can save France.
You got to do magic to get a sainthood.
Yeah, you have to.
Your head has to come off, and you have to walk around.
You save France? Well, that guy put together a broken cow. So a dismembered cow
got eggs out of his house.
Yeah.
Did your head explode into a fountain?
Oh, okay, great.
4 miracles for Joan of Arc's beatification?
Yeah, like what was her bona fide?
What are the miracles that the Vatican accepted to raise Joan of Arc to the official rank of canonized saint? God, the text in this is small.
In 1920.
Well, I mean, I guess the idea would be that they were documented. So in the process of declaring a person a saint, the promoters of the prospective saint cause are asked to vouch for 4 authentic miracles. 4 miracles, wow. To secure for beatification, and 2 miracles to form canonization. So 6 miracles to be an actual saint. The Holy Father can dispense of 1 miracle if the candidate has found a religious order. In Joan of Arc's case, the dispensation was granted because she saved France. Thus, 3 miracles sufficed for her beatification. The 3 approved miracles that raised Joan to blessed were as follows. 1. Sister Therese of St. Augustine, who lived in Orleans, had been cured of leg ulcers. Sister Julie Gautier, who lived in Faverolles, was cured of a cancerous ulcer of her left breast.
Okay.
And Sister Marie Sagnier, who lived in Frage, was miraculously cured of cancer of the stomach. So Joan of Arc is a cancer cure.
Wow.
So, but
Pope Pius X solemnly accepted these 3 miracles as authentic on December 13th, 1908. He declared Joan of Arc has shone like a new star, destined to be the glory of not only France but of the universal church as well. It's because of her heroic virtue that she was declared blessed on April 18th, 1909. So
That was beautiful.
and then the 2 miracles needed for Joan of Arc's canonization were obtained and authenticated without much delay, but World War I put a stop to all such activities. In 1921, the war was over and the French were victorious. The Vatican wanted to improve relations with the socialist government. The Holy See was willing to give them their saint if the French government would reestablish diplomatic relations.
Oh my god.
I like, she's a good one. I feel like we're missing a really obvious one, but I'm not,
Yeah, it's going to come to us later.
It's going to come to us later.
I think she had a cool life where lots of interesting stuff happened. I think what makes it perhaps not as great, because you can just throw fucking Withershins, the Tin Imp, in this story about King Arthur, and that's fine because a bunch of shit happens. Who cares? Same with Robin Hood too. Like Robin Hood and King Arthur are both so fictional,
Mythological.
that you can just kind of tell a bunch of vaguely King Arthur-y stuff and it'll be like, yeah, that's a good game.
Yeah, exactly. I think it works. I mean, you could give her
super I think you probably wouldn't
magic.
Want to that's exactly. Do you want her to just go around curing cancer and doing a bunch of vaguely Joan of Arc stuff and having a bunch of punny deaths?
I think, I think by that right, something like Odysseus or so on would probably be more appropriate for a video game.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of another like spiritual leader to whom miracles are attested. But like you wouldn't want to have an adventure game about Gandhi,
I would.
I mean, I would, but at the same time, I don't think,
I'd want to.
It might be easier. It might legitimately be easier to make a game about Jesus than it would to be make a game about Gandhi.
Yeah,
well, yeah, Gandhi is not really mythologized. Gandhi was a guy, Like,
we have video of him.
Well, there were like they
actions were well documented in the age of television.
They couldn't make a second. They were delayed in making a second season of Clone High because of like hunger strikes and stuff about Gandhi.
Okay, here. How about this? Okay, Jesus. That's a sensitive subject. I understand. There's probably someone listening to this right now that still is a little pissed off that I suggested Jesus earlier. That's fine. That's fine. What about this? What about Moses? That's got all kinds of crazy shit in it.
Yeah, it does.
Moses does have all kinds of crazy shit.
There's a lot of biblical myths that you could draw from.
Like, the conquest of Egypt. Oh man, sign me up.
Oh gosh,
sign me up.
Like King. Interesting things happened in the complicated life of King David, for instance, which is like. You could put it side by side with legends about King Arthur, and there would be a lot of compelling shit in there. Or putting Samson alongside Hercules. There's similarities.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you market it correctly, you can get everyone. You can get everyone on board.
Yeah, if you handled it respectfully, you probably wouldn't piss off a lot of people. I mean, there have been less respectful, well, I mean, like entirely intended as respectful, but certainly less like less respectful, even if not on purpose, religious video games that have happened. Like, if you look at the old NES, like, fucking carrying baby Jesus across the fucking river and, like, and all that shit. Like, there have been some games that, especially in retrospect, are like, this is rough, Like, what we're suggesting here, if, like, marketed to the, sort of, to Christian audiences, could probably be well received, if you did treat it respectfully.
Though, to do it in full conquest of style, you'd want to do it with kind of notes of, like, Life of Brian in there. Because there's references to Monty Python and the Quest for the Holy Grail. Yeah. So if you were doing a Jesus adventure game, you'd want it to have a similar kind of irreverence for the subject matter if it was to be an authentic installment in the Conquest of
I completely
series.
agree. And that's why I think the more I think about it, I don't think Jesus would work. I think it's too much of a...
I think it would be hilarious, but I think probably it would be divisive.
I would I would play the shit out of that. I think it would be so much fun. But I also agree that you can't, like, I think it would be hard to sell. But, like, Moses, King David, Samson.
When I made the Gandhi analogy, I don't think you'd get that kind of outcry for Joan of Arc. I just mean to say Gandhi is on the extreme end of the axis where that lies. If you know what I mean.
I genuinely think you could make a good Conquest of the Cross.
I think you could.
With Jesus.
I think you could make it cool and fun and maybe not offend anyone with a good sense of humor, right? You're going to offend somebody with it, but you could probably do it with an appropriate amount of irreverence and still have, reasonable, open-minded people be like, yeah, that's pretty funny.
I was kind of with you, and then I realized, like, even at the very start of this, you're just going to upset people without even starting making the game, because what would Jesus look like?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a good point.
So already there, you're going
to divide the room right away.
Here's the thing. The kind of people who are going to get offended at certain things like that, they're going to find a reason anyway. I don't know. Like, I think
honestly, Jesus is going to be orange, realistically speaking.
I mean, if we're doing it in EGA, although Longbow was a VGA game.
Oh yeah.
Although if I was going to do a Conquests, like if I was going to do with Conquests what Julia did with Colonel's Bequest, then I'd do it in EGA.
Or, like, to be even safer, like CGA, so where there's, like, no relatable colors whatsoever.
Oh god, I don't know that I would want to do it in CGA. That seems like a nightmare to try and do art.
But would you make Jesus' hair brown or black? It's like,
probably black.
Yeah.
Really?
Again, though, like, you could, I guess, you know what though, for an actual game like that is supposed to be mass marketed, you're probably gonna give him brown hair. You're gonna give him long brown hair.
See,
you're gonna give him, you're gonna do the thing. You're gonna do the thing. It's gonna happen.
You're talking about doing a flannel graph Caucasian Jesus from everybody's Sunday school.
Yeah, a little Caucasoid Jesus. So I think you could do it. I think you could do it.
You would also upset people.
Yeah, true enough.
I don't think anyone will.
It's a good point, Julia. It would divide the room almost immediately. The thing is, of the things that we've listed, it's weirdly the idea we're most excited about.
Yeah, it would be fun. I see how the fun would happen.
I just love the idea of, like, the Son of God falling in a well and dying.
Okay, also...
You'd have to be,
So does it end with his resurrection at the end, or what? Like...
I mean, you'd have to pick a story, right? Like...
It would go all the way up.
There's a really hard arcade sequence, or you get crucified wrong.
Oh, come on!
No. I think what you have to do is it ends. You have to get to the Last Supper. That's the last part of it. Because you don't want it to be a bummer, man. You don't want it to be a bummer.
Well, I don't know that I would even go as far as the Last Supper. Like, there's got to be some Jesus myths that like are more.
There will be,
Yeah,
It's
because I mean, like,
it's all bummer
Jesus
all the
did a
time.
lot of stuff before that point.
I read that book cover to cover. His life was a real bummer, start to finish.
That's fair.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, like, in my opinion, if you are going to do a biblical Conquests game, I think Moses is probably the better
That's
choice.
probably the way to go. It's just that Conquest of the Cross is just such a cool title.
I mean, Moses could do Conquest of the Cross.
I don't think it would. I don't think. Conquest of the Tablets, maybe. Conquest of the like the fucking burning bush, man. Oh, so good. Anyway, let's move on before we alienate any more people. We got another question for Camelot. Oh, so good. This one's for Fun for Algernon wrote, question for Camelot. Does Matt know how to play the harmonica or just that one thing? What do you guys think?
I think
I'm
that you
thinking
know
it's just the one thing.
how to play the harmonica in that you hold it up to your mouth and you pass air through it. So everyone knows how to play a harmonica.
Right.
Like, when I see someone bust out a killer harmonica solo, my question is not, how did you do that?
That's true.
They did it with their lips and throat.
So, yeah, I got my...
Discord really does not like to provide us with the audio.
99% of that got caught in the noise filter. It was hilarious.
I assure you it happened.
Yeah, no, it'll come out.
We know what
in
it sounds
the
like. It's
video.
fine.
Just
you guys know. You've heard it all before.
Alex and I did not hear it. Yes, but we have heard it.
But
we do know exactly what it sounded like.
Here's the real problem. The great prophecy that if I learn how to play the harmonica, I will become the best in the world. So good.
That's right. And
that
good
Bob
that
Dylan
John Popper and Bob Dylan will shoot each other in rage.
We can't have that.
Instead of being inspired by another talented musician about the beauty of music, and like looking forward to collaborations and stuff like that, just overcome with petty, childish jealousy to death.
Yeah, I can't have that on my conscience, so I'm not going to learn. I won't.
I think the spirit of your question is, does Matt know how to play any real songs on the harmonica? And my guess is probably not.
I can play this.
It's just silence for us.
I'm getting like a fraction of a second.
It went like this.
Harmonica sound.
Rudy doot 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 doot. Rudy doot 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 doot. Rudy doot doot. That's not a song though. It's not a real thing. I don't know what that is.
Hey, it could be.
Yes, I should clarify. Just because the song is not like recorded on a studio album does not mean it is not a real song. But I mean to say a song in the sense of like a song that you know that someone else recorded that has specific notes that it is supposed to go. Probably Matt doesn't have one of those.
A recognizable track.
I will have the death of two legends on my hands if I do that. So it's not going to happen. So.
If Matt so much as learns row, row, row your boat.
Harmonica. Sorry, what was that, Alex?
If Matt so much as learns row, row, row your boat, he'll have 2 human lives on his conscience.
Yeah. Because I won't be able to stop there. I'll be like, well, what if I'll have to learn Handel's Messiah on there? I'm gonna have to learn fucking the Four Seasons by Vivaldi, and then all of the blues classics. And then what? Then what happens? They're dead.
You'll be wearing a harmonica the one that they use for like a hands-free so they can play guitar.
Mm-hmm.
But in each of your hands, you're holding 2 harmonicas tied to strings and spinning them such that they make the exact notes. So you're playing 3 harmonicas at once.
This is the problem. Yeah.
And other musicians just begin to weep and kill each other.
It's honestly actually pretty dangerous for me just to have a harmonica around me. But I'm willing to take that chance because I don't like. I have to put effort into this in order.
We have to have a
yeah.
USP.
Yeah. Anyway, great question, Fun for Algernon. As always, pumping them out. We love to see it. We love to be part of it. Thank you.
Good pumping, bro.
Good pumping. Good pump. All right, next. Got another con question for Camelot. It's not really an official one, but
Any question asked during the time in which we are playing questions for Conquests of Camelot is a question for Camelot.
yeah. C. Briggs asked, "What did I do?" And I assume that's because you think you're the Chris we were talking about last week. But if there was a Chris, and I think there might have been a Chris.
I don't think so.
There might have been.
I'm only aware. I'm only recalling a Steve.
For sure. Steve for sure.
I don't think it was you, and if it was you, we forgive you. It's fine.
It was not. I don't think it was.
Because we don't
you didn't
remember.
Yeah, you didn't do nothing. You're fine.
If you did something to annoy us and you are still here, you are absolved. Like this.
Yeah, you're good. You're fine. You know,
I don't think it was you though. I believe it was somebody else.
Yeah. That's it for the fucking YouTube questions, everybody. Nice job for putting some there. I'm proud of you. I want more. I want more next week. All right. You know what I want. That's not really important though. So do with that what you will. All right. Let's move to the Discord. Jesus, where do I even start? I guess Philip's question. Right?
Seems like as good a place to start as any.
Yeah. Okay, we got a con question for Camelot / question for Glory, of course. This is such a good fucking question too. What would be your dream adventure game Lego playset, and what would it display? God,
the Lego playset. Wow.
Which one? Which one though? Like, there's so many good ones.
I answered this on the Discord already, but I'll reiterate what I said. That I loved like knights and spaceships the most. Got a lot of Star Wars, a lot of castle stuff like that. So like Space Quest and Quest for Glory are obvious choices for something that would be awesome.
Is there a specific Space Quest moment that you would choose to have immortalized in Lego?
I think there's any of the times you're at sort of like a big kind of like space restaurant or something like that. Kind of like
so maybe Monolith Burger or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Having like a Monolith Burger set with like spaceships and alien patrons and stuff like that.
That would lend itself to Lego very well.
I do think Dagger of Amon-Ra would make for a phenomenal Lego set with a bit of like Lego City meets Indiana Jones type stuff.
Yeah.
And so like the interior of the museum or something?
Well, I think just a big cool museum would be an awesome Lego set, but also just like secret passages with cultist activity behind it.
Yeah,
each Art Deco museum. Yeah.
Yeah, each museum set could come with another NPC. That'd be freaking great. Yeah. And they'd have a reversible corpse head.
Yes.
Like a big, like an actual like murder mystery scene where like the bodies disappear one at a time.
That'd be awesome.
That would be a phenomenal, like the entire museum, the entire like night of murder and intrigue as like a playable adventure in a Lego set. You know, they could charge more than they do for the Death Star for that shit.
Oh, absolutely.
And as I mentioned on the Discord, it would also be really awesome to see a Lego set of like the Crimson Lodge with like Julia's attention to color and stuff like that captured.
like having the Crimson Lodge would be awesome.
Oh,
It'd be so
I
good.
love that.
I
For
agree.
sure. For
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
Obviously, like that would be so good. You could have separate sets, for like the upstairs, the downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it'd be so good.
Yeah, if I had to pick one to turn into a Lego set, I think, especially to accommodate all of the people, I would go for the dining room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good one.
I was gonna say dining room, but I wasn't even gonna pick my own game. I was gonna pick the Colonel's Bequest dining room, where it has like that secret passageway, so you can slide in behind the wall and you could look through the painting's eyes and everything. I would really love that. I actually have a little Scooby Doo themed Lego set that is kind of like a mini museum Lego set. It's a very it's not like a whole museum or anything, but it's just like a sarcophagus with a mummy that comes out and stuff, and there's a little Scooby and this little what's his name, the stoner one, Shaggy and Scooby, and I got it because it reminded me so much of Dagger von Monroe. So
Yeah.
I was
That'd be
going to say
pretty cool.
Scrappy, but that's Scooby's sort
Yeah.
of dog homunculus nephew.
Dog homunculus nephew. I think I would love to have Manannan's house from King's Quest 3.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah.
The freaking just the top there with the chicken coop, and then the house has just like, that first floor with the kitchen and the dining room and the main room and the office, and then the second floor, and then like the tower. I think that would be awesome. And it would only be able to come. You'd only have to get like, Gwyddy and Alexander and like the cat and the wizard. That's kind of, maybe you could throw in an eagle if you're feeling good.
Oh.
But I think that would be awesome. Some
Yeah, they even
chickens.
have like little cookies. They have this little cookie piece.
Yeah, and yeah, like you could even have like the underground stairway to the lab, which would be awesome. That's a dream Lego set for me.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty fun.
amazing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think for me, I would like to see Spielberg.
Yes,
The original Quest for Glory.
that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Get yourself have a little centaur Lego for Hilda.
Has there ever been a Lego Centaur? You'd think there would have been.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, there are Lego horses, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely Lego horses. Yeah.
I have many a Lego horse.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like, yes, there have been centaurs.
Ooh,
Yes.
okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, you could have like a little Lego centaur. You could have a Lego like goon for the sheriff's deputy there. You could have like the witch mage. Was that Zara? I think in the first game.
Yeah.
Little Adventures Guild, a little bar with the dragon's breath keg.
Mm-hmm.
A little trapdoor leading down to the Thieves Guild.
Yeah.
That reminds me.
That'd be fantastic.
I have a set already called the Medieval Market Village. It's set 10193, and it kind of does remind me of Spielberg in that way, because it's got these little medieval houses, and you can see the inside and outside, and they've got like little stalls and stuff that you also can set up. And it's I would love to have a Spielberg version of that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, that would be very cool. Be very cool. Honestly, like the police station from Lytton would be pretty cool.
Lytton PD.
Lytton PD.
Which version of it, though?
Yeah, that's the only thing, right? Like,
Lytton PD was never the same
no,
building.
my favorite one was obviously Police Quest 2, because that's
yeah.
But like, build a couple police cars. That'd be pretty fun.
What would the worst Lego set be? the worst Sierra game. The worst. What game is the worst source of Lego sets?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Gold Rush has got to be
Honestly,
up there.
Gold Rush.
Gold Rush doesn't. Gold Rush should just be a fucking desert set or something like that.
Gold Rush would remind me of I had some of my Lego is so old. I've got some original Civil War Lego, where it's the red coats and the blue coats, like that level of stuff. Gold Rush is that level of boring.
Getting a Fort Sutter set from Gold Rush would be the most disappointing thing in the world.
They could make it amazing, but it would probably be pretty dull.
Some Wild Westy kind of sets that are absolutely
sure, but you get the mule pen.
I mean, I'm not saying that Gold Rush's Fort Sutter was inspiring.
It's got a sort of tuberculosis play feature somehow.
Was it at the start? It was Brooklyn, right?
Yeah. That'd be cool.
That part of the game was awesome. But
yeah, totally. Absolutely.
But I like just the idea of the mule pen, where you just build a pen and then you have a bunch of Lego mules and that's it.
That's it. That's all that is.
I've only seen snippets of gameplay from one of the more recent Leisure Suit Larry games, but I didn't get the impression it would make for particularly compelling Lego.
Honestly, Lefty's bar from Leisure Suit Larry 1 would be an awesome set. It'd be awesome. Yeah.
Honestly, I think there's a lot of good sets in the Leisure Suit Larry series. Really? It's a lot of casinos.
Yeah.
And I mean, some of the seedy alleyways and shit like that, maybe not so much.
No.
Yeah, that's a good point. And again, I've only seen snippets from I forget what the title of it was.
Manhunter.
One of the 3D ones.
Manhunter would be the worst ones.
Manhunter.
Any of the Manhunters.
Every single Lego is a guy in a brown cloak.
That's it. It's just I could see the figures right now. I could see the minifigs. They would all have that the brown cloak and the hood and the black.
They could maybe redeem Manhunter by doing a sort of Lego City set, but with a palette and a structure that made it look like unhinged pixel art.
Yeah.
I really hope that fan project Manhunter Toronto happens.
It's exquisite.
Yeah.
There was, for those of you who aren't aware of this, maybe I only shared it with the other NPCs. I found a Manhunter Toronto fan project. Basically, somebody is making a Manhunter game based in Toronto. I'll put that on the Discord if you want to find it and check it out. But that absolutely. I would love to play that. We would absolutely play that on this channel.
100%. Hundo-P.
Yeah, that would just immediately be the horror month game for the intervening years.
Yeah, we would even stop playing
Phantasmagoria.
Oh my god, I was going to ask, did we finish that? I don't remember. Oh no.
No,
I don't think we finished A Puzzle of Flesh.
No, that's coming in October.
There's a lot of flesh puzzling to go, for sure.
Police Quest 4 Open Season.
Oh yeah,
that's the worst one. That's the worst Lego set.
Would probably be the worst sets.
Yeah,
because what like so much of it is just fucking the LAPD headquarters.
Oh god, every set would be so shitty. Yeah, you're
and
right.
If they really captured the drab and
green suit,
if they really captured sort of the drab and depressing kind of art style of the game, you'd be impressed by the set, but you wouldn't want it in your Lego City.
No.
Yeah, just that opening crime scene is your Lego set with the one cop with the tanuki tail and the blue corpse of your ex-partner on the ground and the dead kid corpse in the dumpster.
Wow. I was going to say, since you brought it up, I think
Lego caution tape.
Puzzle of Flesh Lego playsets would suck too, because there's
so
no
bad.
playability here. Because you could have the office and you just can go from cubicle to cubicle.
That's such a good point. The liminal space that Mr. Puzzle of Flesh lives in, his little loop from his office to his home, That is some of the worst environment art.
That would be so bad. That would be so bad. Like, actually, I think it might be kind of cool to have like a very like 90s vibe office, like, but you couldn't play with it. You couldn't do
That's
anything.
what I mean. That's
Yeah, you'd have your friend with the mushroom cut and the goatee. You'd have your girlfriend and the girl you wish was your girlfriend, in the different cubicles, and the guy who hates you. Oh God, I can't remember. I can't believe I remember all this. And the bald guy who doesn't want anything to do with you. God, yeah, horrible.
There's a The Office Lego set that is just an office, and it is kind of charming.
Yeah.
It's sort of
Yeah.
like bright and colorful. It's well built. It's familiar.
because those
I
characters
don't
are charming.
think that I don't think that the awful liminal space of Phantasmagoria 2, it wouldn't be good to look at. Again, I think you'd be impressed if it was a faithful recreation. Be like, wow, what interesting building techniques they used for this horrible space. But it would still be a horrible space.
But on the opposite end of the spectrum, I think Phantasmagoria 1
Yes.
would have some pretty great Lego sets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Wholeheartedly agree.
yeah. I want a
What-
minifig Adrian.
Get crazy Dawn in the dark room and stuff.
With this-
To have a little like
With-
light up brick that's like a red light in there and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah. And his little ponytail hair. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I could turn his face around so you can have one that's got the chemical on his face.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Puzzle of Flesh might be unlegoable.
It's just boring. Like I'm trying to imagine like those like 80s toy commercials where kids are really excited and they're like playing with a playset, and like it just, even if they had ever even played the game, which they never have played the game, but even if they had, like, what do you even do with that, right? Like you're just gonna
Maybe the bar that they go to. Maybe.
the
As a
Dreaming
Lego
Tree,
set.
or whatever it's called.
It's not even a bar. It's a
The
restaurant.
Olive Garden. Yeah.
And even his apartment is so fucking boring.
Yeah, it's rough. That game's a hard. Like, I'm looking forward to getting back to that game because I enjoyed how bad it felt to be everywhere in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we got a lot of questions.
This
We got to
is
get
true.
through them.
Yeah.
But that one was
Yeah.
beautiful. As part two,
I
of Phil's
shouldn't have
question-
inverted the question. That was on me.
No, it's good. It's good. As part two of Philip's question, though, is there any Funko Pop or any kind of collectible toys that you would like to see as well? Is there any Funko Pops? Yeah, I'd collect all the Sierra Funko Pops if they existed. That'd be that'd be awesome. But
I mean, I don't do Funko Pops, but I would absolutely be happy to see them on Matt's shelf.
100%, right?
Mm.
I want a Graham. I want a boring ass King Graham. I want a fucking Roger Wilco. You know, I want everybody.
Yep.
Hero
Spielberg.
Oh yeah, everybody.
I don't like to own things that don't do things. It's my thing.
I actually really hate those Funko Pop things too. Like I know there's a bit of a discussion in the Discord, and I also don't, because I would want the characters to look like they do in the game. So I would want like pixel art ones. Like they have like, amiibos or whatever for like, there's an old style NES Super Mario Brothers Mario, and I'm like, that's the kind of thing I would want.
They have pixelated Funko Pops.
Do they
for sure.
really?
They do.
Like, for example, like
They have, if you want to look at, they have pixelated Ninja Turtles.
What pixel?
I don't think I've ever seen a Funko Pop that doesn't look exactly like a Funko
Yeah.
Pop.
I mean, it still looks like a Funko Pop, but it's pixelated.
Oh, I
Is its head just a
see.
cube instead of
No, oh, that's
rounded?
interesting. Okay, I didn't know these existed. Okay, I'm back on board.
Yeah, the pixelated Alien, the Friday the 13th NES pixelated.
Why does this
Jason.
exist? Why does this
I
exist?
would love that.
Is there a game that has them that look like this?
I don't know,
the
but they're
Ninja Turtles?
awesome. That
What is this?
pixelated Jason, I keep wanting that. The fucking NES version, so good.
To be
Anyway.
clear, I like Funko Pops just fine as they're like as elements of design and stuff like that. I think they're
Oh.
cute. It's just I do not hoard things in the way that some people hoard.
Okay, that is really
Yeah.
cool. Okay.
See, there's
convinced
some cool
me.
stuff.
Yeah.
There's some cool stuff.
These are neat.
Funko Pops have come a long way in the last 5 to 10 years. Like 10 years ago, Funko Pops were just pretty simple, right? Like we're like, yeah, we'll put a little hat on it, and then and we'll paint the shirt red and green, and that's Freddy. But now they're going wild. They're like, it's good. It's good.
I'll buy things like I bought a bobcat skull from a bone merchant at a witch market because I needed a house deity for my apartment.
Yeah.
But that's a thing that does something, and I'm not going to make a Funko my house deity. I need a more powerful deity than that. No offense to a Funko Pop.
What does the deity do in your apartment?
The bobcat spirit, the familiar spirit that resides in the bobcat's skull, is sent on errands. Such as a friend of mine had a cancer screening, and I assigned the bobcat skull to watch over her during her cancer screening because I was worried about her.
Aw, okay, that's awesome.
She got a negative result on the test, which is to say a positive result for life. Yes. Cancer negative. So anyway, but that is the sort of thing I assign the bobcat skull to, is things beyond my control that I'm anxious about.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's it. Oh, I got one more question based on Philip's thing. What if you could have a stuffy, like a stuffed creature of any Sierra character? What would you have?
Spike from Space Quest 5.
I would want the Antwerp from Quest
The face
for
hugger,
Glory
yeah.
1. The Antwerp.
The Antwerp would make such a good stuffy.
Antwerp would be a good stuffy too. Yeah.
Oh. I asked the question, but I don't actually have an answer. Maybe the little pink guy from Space Quest 2. The little pink guys with the big eyebrows.
Yeah.
What about Withershins from Conquests of Camelot?
Fuck that guy.
Only if they made it sharp. A sharp
that guy would
stuffy.
be made of fucking pipe cleaners.
Okay. And I think we only have one more. Oh God, no, we have two more. All right, we got one. Okay, next one. Here I am asking for more questions on the actual video, but we're we got a graded number of these in the Discord.
Yeah, we're gonna hit at least 3 hours of recording tonight.
Yeah. Landor, Mad Lad. This is more of a hypothetical scenario for Glory, but I feel like it needs to be asked. What are the odds that King Arthur just snapped, stormed out of Camelot, and blamed everything on his suspicion that Guinevere had a crush on Lancelot? I can 100% picture him yelling something like, "The dead crops? That's your fault for having a crush on my best friend. It made Jesus and Mithras mad, and now it won't rain. Anyways, I'm leaving to find the Grail and fix this mess you caused. It's common knowledge that a magic cup is the only thing that will revive dead crops. Goodbye forever." And then he wandered around for a while, eventually returning when he got wind that it started raining again. At that point, he could just pick up any old chalice from the market and claim victory. Probably more plausible that happened that way, but midlife crisis for Camelot doesn't have the same heroic ring to it. What are the chances that happened?
I mean, within the actual game, that's not how it happened. But, real Arthurian legend, entirely possible. Although, I would like to point out, that wasn't just a crush. They did fuck.
Though it would be interesting if the fucking part was fine, but the crush is what caused the drought. They happened to follow through on the crush and fuck, but if they had just lovelessly fucked, that would have been nothing. People do that all the time.
Yeah, if they were just getting their rocks off, it would be okay.
If it was purely physical
between
between them, then Jesus wouldn't have been angry.
What's your favorite fictional King Arthur in media?
My favorite fictional King Arthur?
Yeah.
Probably the young King Arthur from Sword in the Stone, the Disney film.
Yeah. I know they
He
did
was a bit of a little shit, but I'd probably go with him too.
Mm-hmm.
They also did that show Merlin for years, but with young Arthur and young Merlin. I
recall their Arthur being tolerable. I only saw a bit of it.
Julia, what's your favorite?
Yeah, I'm like racking my brain because I mean the first thing I came to with it was the same as Sword in the Stone, but I don't know what other King Arthurs I've encountered besides this one, which I want to. We don't have to do this again, and I just had to bring this up because I really feel like when we ask people questions in this game, they just answer us. We never hear Arthur talk, right?
Yeah, I know.
True.
So I suspect he might be Cake. We don't have to do it. I'm just saying that I get that impression from just not only the fact that he's not talking, but the fact he's so passive with everything.
Yeah.
Julia, that makes so much sense. That's why he didn't stop the relationship between Guinevere and Lancelot, because he knows that he is Cake.
So
he's got a cake dick. Oh.
So anyway, I just have to but
but he's medieval English, so he's more like
Spotted dick?
Crumpet or something.
His soft cake body is not equal to the task, and so he sort of needs Lancelot for that purpose.
Oh, right. I'm into this.
He just gives the vibe. But anyway, in terms of
cake vibes, hashtag cake vibes, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
hashtag cake vibes.
Cake vibes.
Not a big King Arthur guy. I care more about the depiction of Merlin.
I really liked the shitty 90s movie First Night with Sean Connery as Arthur and Richard Gere as Lancelot. And who was Guinevere? Fuck. One of those big 90s actresses. I don't remember.
Jean Triplehorn?
No, but it's right on the. It was Julia Ormond. Remember her? She was huge in the 90s. She was in everything. You couldn't turn your head without fucking looking at Julia Ormond. She was great.
There was also Keira Knightley that was King Arthur in. I don't remember.
Yes, there was. That was. Yeah, she played like a badass.
Archer.
Was she Guinevere?
I don't know.
Fuck. Yes, that and was that Clive Owen?
Maybe.
And it was very like they were like Romans.
Yeah, Clive Owen, Keira Knightley. Yeah.
King
Arthur was just the name of the movie.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that one, but I could not remember the name of the film as well. I remember seeing. I think I saw that on a plane.
I think I might have seen it as well, but I cannot. Yeah, I can't remember.
Through
a
a
single
plane
thing about
movie.
It. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, you're right. Fucking and
I liked. I thought it was interesting that he was a Roman soldier or something like that in that film. Though.
Yeah. Yes. Shit. Yeah.
Although, like, it is heretical that I forgot that, like, the obvious King Arthur being Graham Chapman.
Oh, of course.
I was just going to say.
Of course.
It's worth a shout out to Monty Python, Quest for the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
He was a very likable King Arthur.
He was.
Yeah, I actually prefer probably over King Arthur or young Arthur in Sword in the Stone. I just blanked on it, so I rescind my my Disney reference and go with Graham Chapman, King Arthur.
They did
An odd thing about King Arthur from Disney's Sword of the Stone. It was Disney, right? Or am I misremembering that?
No, it was Disney.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
From Sword in the Stone, I never got the impression that King Arthur's father was king. It seemed like he was just some kid yanked a sword out of the stone and then got to be king because he pulled the sword out of the stone.
Well,
but in the actual mythology, King Arthur got to be king because his father was king.
Well, okay. In the Sword in the Stone, he has an older brother who is like this big, huge guy and who's a bully, and he's supposed to be king. Yeah, he calls him Mort.
He calls him Mort.
Yeah.
He calls him Mort, and the big brother. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I was very young when I saw Sword in the Stone, so I might have been misremembering. But it planted this idea in my head that he wasn't royalty.
Right.
Then he pulled a sword from a stone and got to be king. And then later on, I was reading about him. I was like, his dad was the fucking king? Like, what?
Yeah.
That's bullshit. Like, that's the whole point of the story. But no, it's
Yeah.
he just became king in the normal way and happened also to pull a sword from the stone.
Well,
So,
they made a...
I didn't realize that there was a Guy Ritchie. King
Yeah,
What?
that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
In 2017, there was a Guy Ritchie shitty King Arthur movie with Charlie Hunnam and
Charlie
Jude
Hunnam.
Law.
Yeah.
No way. I also did not see that. I don't really
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
Heck.
Right?
Yeah. How do you like that?
There you go.
Who saw it? Was it any good?
I watched it. I can't remember a goddamn thing from it. Not one thing.
So forgettable.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, which one was okay? Is Jude Law King Arthur in this movie or Charlie Hunnam?
No, Charlie Hunnam was, Jude Law was King Vortigern.
Who's that?
He was a bad guy. So I think the way they went for this movie is they had a guy usurp Uther's throne, Uther Pendragon's throne, and kill his father, and Arthur had to get revenge and take the throne back.
Hey.
It was not good. It's not good. But it was, whatever.
What's the good Guy Ritchie movie that why he gets to keep making these? What was that?
Oh,
It was such a delightfully Julia thing to say. What was the good Guy Ritchie
I
movie?
think probably
Snatch?
the Lock, Stock, Snatch, and
Yeah.
that trilogy of movies. was
Okay, wait.
those are
probably
all
really-
great.
Okay, there's Lock, Stock,
And-
and Two Smoking Barrels. That's one movie. Snatch is another movie. What's the third movie?
So he also made all those. We were talking about earlier those Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movies.
Right. People like those.
Apparently, yeah.
I think I saw one, but I can't remember it.
I love that statement so much. What was the good movie that means he gets to keep making
Yeah, I
movies?
think the last one was Revolver, but I admit to not have ever seen it.
We need to stop and ask ourselves that question more often.
What's the good movie that allows him to keep
There was a
doing
Snatch TV series?
Oh my goodness. What is going on?
We would have more good
20
movies if we
episodes.
stopped and asked ourselves that question more often. Remind me what the good movie was. No, that was a while ago.
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch were fantastic. I
Okay.
really liked both of those.
Okay.
What have I seen of his? I've seen. Oh, he did a Swept Away with Madonna.
Yes.
Is that
famously.
true?
I
Is
haven't
that
watched
true?
them.
That's true.
gosh,
They were
it
dating.
yet,
Yes,
but
that
the
is
Ministry
true.
of
That is
Ungentlemanly Warfare looked like it was going to be good.
Yeah.
Oh, that looked.
It was
no,
okay.
It didn't look good.
Oh, he did
Yeah,
the live action
I wouldn't-
Aladdin.
I
Oh!
wouldn't. Oh goodness, I wouldn't defend the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare as good. It was very funny to watch Henry Cavill walk around with a silenced machine gun, just calmly shooting Nazis. It was quite funny. But I don't know
that's
that
what
the
I would
movie
have gone
around
into
it
the
was.
movie for. Yeah.
Yeah, it delivers a lot of that. I'm not confident it was like a good movie around that, but there were several scenes where I laughed out loud as he was just calmly walking along the waterfront, as if just for his health or whatever, just killing Nazis.
I don't think that Guy Ritchie films are particularly well written, but they're very stylistically fun to watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't had a terrible time.
You can't remember though, so maybe you did.
Yeah, that King Arthur movie was.
I think
can't
it's more
remember a goddamn
about
thing.
good moments.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember which movie it was. I think it was one of Guy Ritchie's. The guy, sort of a hitman guy, he leaves his last scene in the movie by saying, "It's been emotional."
Wow.
Yeah, it's good.
Which is a very
I
good
don't
line.
remember that, but yeah.
Yeah, so that's why he gets to do that. Anyway, yeah, sorry guys. I got off on a tangent.
No, I had a
That's
tangent
me.
earlier. You had a tangent this time.
You know,
We actually do have one more question, though.
Okay.
we do from
right.
Philip.
Let's do it.
I never get tired. I want to listen to that on loop for hours.
You have the audio
I do.
file. Go for
I
it,
do.
man.
I should just do it. All right, Philip, once again coming through clutch.
Make it your ringtone.
Oh, so good. What
Or your
Sierra?
wake up alarm.
Oh, I would do it. What Sierra Dynamix TCD character would you enjoy cosplaying the most? Who'd be the least effort besides Manhunter, of course, and who'd be the most effort?
Well, this kind of depends, because for me, the person to cosplay that would require me the least effort would be Grace Nakamura from Gabriel Knight 1, because I could just whatever, just say I'm Grace Nakamura from Gabriel Knight 1.
I mean, there's the outfit, but aside from
Well, I mean,
that,
just who
sure.
remembers what she's wearing in that?
Yeah.
I could just put glasses on and...
I mean, I guess, but I would assume that you would at least try to match something out of one of the games, right?
She's wearing like a
Not
pink...
just like, hey, I'm Asian, so I guess I'm this character.
That would be the easiest.
That would be the easiest.
If I really wanted to commit, I'd be like, okay, get my hair cut. I just, take a screenshot, be like, okay, do that. And then she's wearing like a pink t-shirt and like, I don't know, gray pants or something. It's like, whatever, I could do that.
Quest for Glory Lion Tour would be pretty hard.
That would be real hard.
For a lot of reasons. It's very, it would be so hard to do it even a little bit good. For you to make a Lion Tour costume and have anyone even be like, that's even a little bit good. Like, I was at HalCon and I saw someone dressed as Atuin the World Turtle from Discworld. And I'm a fan of Discworld. And it took me a second to realize she was Atuin the World Turtle from Discworld. But once I got it, I was like, that's pretty good. That's a great costume. You're a long way from that with the Lion
On the
Tour.
upside, canonically, once you have the costume, you don't have to move because he never did.
It's true. You can have someone wheel you around on a cart.
Exactly.
You could just make a sculpture, a reposing sculpture.
Yeah.
That's true. You could do that where it's just, your upper body and the lower body is just a very well sculpted lion body,
Even making
with some nice flocking on it and stuff.
Even making like a good lion face without just looking like a furry. Maybe you're fine with looking like a furry, but like one feels that
basically you would just do what they did to Ron Perlman's face in that Beauty and the Beast TV show from the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
That's
That'd probably
hard
be
to
the
do,
way to go.
That's professional prosthetics application.
Yeah.
True. Well,
it'd
if
be,
you're
it'd be
motivated,
pretty hard.
It wouldn't be an easy cosplay, that's for sure.
I was trying to think of a Sierra, because I read this earlier, this question. I was trying to think of a Sierra character where it would be anatomically impossible because you're the wrong, because your body shape is wrong. So it's like, or the character's 6 inches tall, so you die trying to cram into the costume.
I mean, some of the robots in Space Quest, certainly.
But yeah, Lion Tour is my answer for hardest.
I want to dress up as Keith from Police Quest.
Keith from Police Quest.
Yeah, but that'd be the easiest one. Even though I don't look anything like him, I think it would be a hilarious costume.
I guess one of the easier ones for me would be the schlub from Puzzle of Flesh.
Yeah.
He's just a white guy. I mean, I don't look a lot like him, but I could get a wig.
Yeah.
He has hair, I think. I think he even has glasses. I could just get glasses that look like his.
Honestly, though, probably Sludge Vohall. I could pull that off. I could handle that.
That'd be a cool outfit, actually.
Yeah.
Be,
Yeah. Fucking love Sludge Vohall, man. Love that fucking guy. He has a special place in my heart as a villain. And I love how you get him in the end.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's very cool.
Oh yeah, Phantasmagoria 2 guy does have glasses. I had to Google him for a second.
You just need a gigantic t-shirt, a really big t-shirt. So.
As for who I probably wouldn't. I don't really like wearing costumes.
Well, yeah.
The way I was thinking about it is, I would want to think of somebody who's wearing something that I would want to just have as a part of my own wardrobe.
Right.
And so I was first
Because then you
thinking,
could just use those elements.
yeah, I could just be like, well, I'll buy that for the costume and just wear it around just normally. But I couldn't really come up with anything on the fly about like I was thinking Laura Bow and Dagger of Amon-Ra, that the dress she wears to the museum. But I took a closer look at it and I don't even like that dress, so I can't even say that one.
Yeah, we're sticking with Sierra.
Oh, yeah,
here,
oh, yeah.
right? I was gonna say I actually dressed as Guybrush Threepwood from Monkey Island 2 for Halloween when I was 14.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
You've already done it.
You've already done it.
Yep.
Shut it down. Go home.
Shut it down.
Stop the presses.
Level 0 NPCs is done.
Close it up. Pack it up. Pack
Delete
it
all
in.
the episodes. Close the channel.
Let me go
4
home.
episodes
Shut down
into
the Discord.
Conquest of Camelot, and our sanity stood us no further.
Yeah.
But yeah, characters that I could cosplay from Sierra. Considering my body type, yeah, I don't know, maybe Albert
Albert.
from Crimson Diamond.
Very nice.
Yeah, or Evan if I shaved my beard off. I mean, Albert doesn't have a beard, but he still has the mustache, so I wouldn't feel like I wasted my handlebar.
I could totally be Kimmy, but I just don't want to wear bangs. But yeah, I could be Kimmy, I suppose.
So
Of course,
fair.
Grace has bangs too. Like, what is up with that? I hate bangs. I couldn't commit to it at that level, even to get bangs cut.
You're the one that put bangs on Kimmy, Julia.
I didn't think about cosplaying her.
A lot of the cosplayers that I know, even ones with hair, will get a wig for their costume.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I most of the cosplayers I know just wear wigs, even if they do
Luke,
have a normal hair.
You and I would make a pretty good two guys from Andromeda.
Oh.
Yes, that okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
We could pull that off, the two of us.
Yeah.
Because yeah,
Very much so.
I think it'd be good. Alex, man, you know, you could be anyone you want, buddy.
Yeah, I look pretty like a normal person, but the problem is you get up close to me and you realize I'm at 1.2 scale. And then it's like, oh, are you like, are you giant Sunny Bonds? Like,
You could be giant Sunny Bonds.
Space Quest 6, Roger was pretty lanky.
There you go.
Yeah. That's true.
yeah, that might do the trick.
Yeah, so you have the two guys and Roger. Julia could do Beatrice.
I was gonna say, like,
or
who is the woman in this series? Like, yeah, there's only like Beatrice and the
Stellar.
dominatrix woman, and who else? Like, there's two.
We don't-
Oh, in Space Quest 6 is the alien woman with the ridged forehead.
we don't talk
Oh.
about Stellar or Space Quest 6.
And there is also well, neither of the people that made Space Quest. But there's also the Terminator bot from Space Quest 5.
Yeah.
WD-40.
WD-40. That looks like a lot of work.
Yeah. That would be a hard outfit to make, but you can pull it off.
I could make the outfit.
I mean, you could pull off the cosplay.
Oh yeah, sure, why not? You can't sit down probably.
You could dress up. You could dress up as Dracula, Alex, but insist you're Dracula from King's Quest 2.
One of the wizards might be fun too.
Oh yeah.
Because then you're like, if no one recognizes you, you're just
be
a fun wizard.
Yeah,
Who cares?
Generic wizard, yeah.
You could do Erasmus from
but
Quest for Glory.
Oh.
also if you're dressed as a wizard and someone walks up to you and you're like, oh, this person is constructed at 1.2 scale, how alarming. It's kind of normal for a wizard to be too tall.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a thing. Like a wizard can gangle and look normal.
Oh yeah.
To gangle.
Neptune is pretty big from King's Quest 2
King's Quest 3
and
or 2.
2, yeah.
Otto from King Quest of Glory 1 is tall.
Yeah, and so is Mananan too, the wizard from King's Quest 3.
Another gangly wizard. Yeah.
And he's a bad wizard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, he's bad
It's
at
true.
being a wizard, or he's evil.
He's both. Both.
He's evil.
Yeah.
He's evil as shit.
I don't know if he was bad at being a wizard. I mean, he did get tricked into turning into a cat, but
That's
wasn't
pretty bad for a
necessarily
wizard.
because he was a bad wizard. That's just because
And he
He's
left
good
his
at
spell book
teleporting.
out. He was not seen.
All
as
wizards
secure.
die by getting tricked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that's how Merlin bites it in
What?
Arthurian legend. He gets tricked and trapped in a tower or something. Like, yeah, it's very classical wizard. You get tricked in the end.
I didn't know how. I never thought about how Merlin died, actually. Huh.
I mean, they're conflicting stories. Last I read, I believe he got trapped
I mean, yeah, he
somewhere.
didn't exist.
He got
he
outwitted.
never died, but yeah. Okay.
That's exactly right. He's an amalgam of different quasi-historical, quasi-mythological figures who neither lived nor died.
Thanks, everyone. See you later. Bye.
Is that okay? Yeah, I was gonna say, do we have any more to go through, or are we done?
That's it. We covered
Worse
it all.
than dead, he never lived.
No.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. I hope you were still hanging in there with us. We love all of you, regardless of the things you've done in your past.
Nope, I'm not on board. I love you conditional on the things that you've done in your
Super
past.
conditionally.
Conditional on the things that you've done in your past, how you feel about those things that you've done in your past, and how the other people involved feel about that.
If I could, I would judge you about what you're thinking about doing in the future and your opinions. That you don't even
I'm
voice.
like that.
That's true. I love you conditionally on what you're up to now, let alone what you've done in the past.
Not me. Not me. I'm like that Backstreet Boys song. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you did. As long as you love me.
You accept everyone just as they are, however loathsome and contemptible they turn out to be.
We're one bad week from turning into that ourselves. Don't think you're special. Thank you, everybody. Love you.
For the grace of Mithras.
I would judge you for your goals that you might not even be able to achieve.
Yeah.
Julie might be a degree farther than me on this one.
Like, what they want to do. I would judge someone about that. No?
Yeah.
Oh, right. If those things are morally good or bad. I thought you meant if they were, like, impossible.
Look, if you want to do some impossible stuff, whether they're good or bad, it's up to me to decide.
Like if Matt earnestly wanted to be an astronaut, right?
Yes. What's wrong with that? I would have no problem with that.
No, this is what I mean. I would still be friends with Matt if he earnestly wanted to be an astronaut. That would not be a disqualifier.
No.
But Matt is currently in his mid-40s and hasn't done any of the things to become an astronaut. I am about 10 years younger than Matt, and I'm pretty sure it's too late for me to be an astronaut.
Yeah, but if Matt expressed to you the wish that he would like to kill 5 cats in the future, then you would be like, that's weird. I don't like that.
Yeah, I like Matt enough right now that I would talk to him about that and try to figure out what that was about. But he would lose some standing for sure.
That's what I mean.
I'll be like, I'm only going to kill the evil cats, guys. The 5 evil cats.
In saying that, Matt would receive a Fallout-style reputation notification.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Everyone disliked.
Everyone disliked that.
Everyone.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
But we love you in regardless of things such as ineptitude and lack of realism.
Okay.
Those things are not disqualifiers.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take it back. I love you all conditionally. That sounds real
Thank
good.
you.
Thanks, everybody.
Broad conditions, you know?
Yeah. We're really into you. Right.
No, next week we're not here, by the
conditionally.
way.
Oh,
Some
yeah,
people have better
gone.
things to do, I guess.
Yeah. I guess parties are more important.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Parties that we're not invited to.
Exactly.
I guess. That's cool.
Luke and I are going to go eat food on a boat.
Yeah.
We'll send you photos probably.
It's great. I
Please
can't
do.
eat a photo.
I can't eat. I can't have
You
fun.
oughtn't eat a photo, but you could probably get it printed on edible paper and eat it if you really wanted to.
I don't want to at
That's
all.
fair.
I want to fully experience missing out.
Yeah, that's part of the fun. Part of the fun is missing out. all right, guys. Just chill for a week. Just chill. All right? Just cool out. We'll be back. Don't worry. Hold on to your hats.
It probably
All
won't be
right?
7 weeks again.
No. I mean,
We don't know,
Probably not.
but probably not, right? We don't
Probably
know.
not.
No one knows.
No one knows.
No one.
Well, we're still Canadian, and we're still here for you. Anyway, bye, everybody. Like you. Love you.
Bye, love you, bye.
Bye.
Matt, I think you'd make a great astronaut.
Yeah.
Really? I don't. I think I'd make a terrible astronaut. I hate flying.
I don't-
Put me up
I
in
don't think you'd-
space.
I don't think you'd like it. but,
Rolling
like,
panic attacks, man.
I just
No.
feel like telling you that you couldn't be an astronaut. It's just I don't think you can start in your mid-40s.
I think if you told me I couldn't be an astronaut, I'd be fine with that. I think I'd agree with you.
Yeah.
Even if
I fully don't want to go
No.
to space.
No.
No.
Why? Why?
No.
It seems bad up there. I
Yeah.
don't know why anyone
No.
goes.
No.
Yeah.
I'm proud of the people who went.
There's a whole lot of air and ground and water and things we need
Fantastic.
to live down here that's not up there.
Yeah. Very proud of the people who went.
Oh, yeah.
But
Good for
I don't want to go.
I think of that as so many things. Like, I'm so glad there are other people who want to do these things because I don't want to do these things.
Absolutely. Yeah, we need all kinds of people
Yes.
to go and do things.
Yes.
You know? Diversity.
Mhm.
Anyway. Go get out. Go get out of here. Go live your lives. Go have fun. You know what? And for the rest of you who don't want to go out there and face what's going on, go ahead and start this video again. We could use the views. Thanks, everyone.
Stick
Bye.
and stay.
Whoa.
Bye.
I'm gonna put a bullet in this episode by stopping my recording
Yeah.
now.
Good
idea.
idea.
Yeah.
Good idea.